The real cost of carnivore, we are day 409, family of 8, we're all on board. We've all been a full 409 days carnivore. What's the real cost? So what's it cost, Mom?
It's cheap, y'all. It's cheap.
It's cheap. Okay, well, let's break it down.
We're going to get into it. So.
All right, let's get into it.
Let's get into it.
You have to project your voice because we don't have a microphone.
Okay.
You like to be soft-spoken, and I appreciate that. But order to everyone to glean your wisdom, you have to project.
Okay, that was me projecting.
Okay. All right, so what about it? What makes it cheap?
Yes.
How does this work?
Well, I mean, I think first of all, like my grocery costs every week, our weekly consumable groceries are just basically so minimal. I mean, everybody wants to talk about like minimal living and minimalist and all that kind of stuff, and I just think if you really want to like embrace a minimalist lifestyle, the first thing that you can easily do is go onto a carnivore or ketogenic diet, and immediately you're going to minimalize not just all of your expenses, but when it comes to food, but also you're just going to you're going to like maximize all of your time that you have, and it's just amazing. So I mean, on a weekly basis, on my grocery list is heavy cream, cheese, sometimes, not every week, but sometimes cheese. I still buy coconut milk because I have to do dairy free for my coffee, and frozen blueberries. But honestly, we found a place local to pick blueberries this summer, and we've been keeping our freezer stocked with local blueberries, so that hasn't even been on our list. And that is it. Butter, sorry y'all, butter.
We raise our own cows. Our cost for grass-fed, grain-finished cows is probably $6 a pound. So our beef, and we eat nose to tail, our beef costs us probably $6 a pound.
Sometimes $7.
Sometimes $7.
Yeah.
It all depends on
how much
the law of averages and how big the cow is and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
But $7 a pound, I mean, if we're buying cows from local farms or neighbors and then taking them in and paying the processing fee. But that's for our roast, that's for our steaks.
It's for everything.
That's for all of our ground beef, all of the organs, everything, nose to tail, everything, $7 a pound for our cost. Now, I mean, for other people that are not able to do something like that, which I told a friend of mine, I was like, if you live in the country, honestly, you could rent a cattle trailer, you could go find a cow to buy, and you could make your own date at the processor and take in your own cow.
Well,
I mean, it's
and
not
not
only
now are you eating better, healthier, more nutrient dense food, but now you are buying local. You're keeping your dollars local. We talk about that all the time. Mm-hmm. And by keeping your dollars local, you literally multiply it by a 7-fold. They've done the factors. So versus buying meat at Walmart, you're shipping your money overseas basically, versus buying your cow from a neighbor or shaking a rancher's hand and developing a local relationship and buying locally. That actually multiplies your dollars that you're spending within your community by a factor of 7. So that's a whole intrinsic value of eating carnivore and buying local. And then you have the nose to tail dollar cost average of $7 a pound. You're getting very high quality food for very little cost. Meanwhile, the cost of goods and services are skyrocketing thanks to hyperinflation. So all of these different factors, our food bills in the last year have less than halved.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, dramatically reduced.
And for
family of 8.
And for the first 6 months, we were also dairy free. So it is possible and sometimes necessary for certain people to at least consume minimal dairy or consume no dairy. So we know that that is a feasible thing as well, is that, dairy is kind of a bonus, it's a perk to us, but it's not something that's absolutely critically necessary in our carnivore diet. So, I mean, immediately when we went carnivore last year, June 8th of last year, I was like, wow, we just like immediately overnight became like 95 to whatever 99% sustainable on our farm, because we are literally consuming 90 to 95% of our food is beef, and that's what we raise or what we can easily procure from people around us, so locally. So this is, our life became very sustainable.
And if we wanted, we've had a dairy cow in the past. Maybe when the littles get a little bit bigger, we will probably have a dairy cow again. And then once you do that next step and you have a dairy cow, now you're married to your dairy cow.
Right.
But once we do that, we would be incredibly self-sufficient, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
And
we have chickens for eggs.
We have our own chickens. Yeah.
And they became really, really important when we started the carnivore diet. I highly recommend, if you can't do anything else, if you are on a lot of land, if you can get chickens or ducks, and you're thinking about doing carnivore or keto with your family, those eggs really, really come in handy. And we go through a ton of eggs on the carnivore diet. Also, I think the really cool thing is that, you're not buying all of those bulk foods anymore. I'm not spending all of the time canning and drying and preserving all of this food. Our food, we like to eat our meat fresh from the freezer. I do make bone broth, and I have that. I have some canned meat for like emergency purposes, but for the most part, we just like getting our meat fresh right out of the freezer and cooking it fresh and eating it. There's zero waste on this diet. I'm not throwing anything away. And that's huge when you talk about...
Our dogs are eating raw beef.
Yeah, our dogs...
So they eat the same thing we do.
Right. Our cat...
They're doing well.
Right. Our cat and our dogs went carnivore when we did, and it's changed over the past year, but for the past, I don't know how many months, they just eat raw ground beef every day, and they're doing great, and they're thriving. They eat once a day. And yeah, it's very, very sustainable, and there's no waste. We were talking about that the other day. We were joking, remembering back of like all of the bulk foods, and when I would make like big pots of like chili or some type of like rice and beans and gruel. We used to call it gruel because we ate out of the pantry for like so many years, and a lot of it was kind of like gruel, but it was good, and we found ways to make it interesting, but it was monotonous too.
Yeah, and another question is well, how do you do carnivore with everybody else? And so we have a fellowship meal every week at church, and we cook an animal-based whatever, and we bring it with us. And there's lots of people at church that have blood sugar issues,
right.
And they always love it when we're bringing something that doesn't have sugar in it. Mm-hmm. So it's greatly appreciated, and so it's no problem.
Yep.
It's simple, it's easy, it's low cost, and it's a time saver. Food prep is cut probably to a quarter. I've been on a hamburger kick, and I barely cook my hamburgers, and I'll melt a little cheese on them, and it takes me longer to thaw the beef than it does to cook it and eat it. And I eat one meal a day. These two. I eat one meal a day, and I spend like not even 10 minutes a day preparing my food, and I'm eating like a pound of beef, and that's it, and I feel great. Mm-hmm. And my shoulder continues to improve. I'm doing some swimming in the pool, doing laps, kind of doing that kind of stuff as rehab, and hangs and pull-ups and all those kind of things. and just continue to get better by the grace of God. I'm thankful for that. Simple, easy, incredibly basic, non-complicated, very unconfusing, very simple. It's about the most simplistic, easy thing that you can possibly do. I tell everyone, try it for 2 weeks. Be serious. Do it for real.
Right.
Don't cheat yourself, and see how you feel. And if you feel great, keep doing it.
Right, absolutely. And I think that, as a mom, the easiest thing that you can do is go to a ketogenic diet or a carnivore diet for your family, at least during the week. And I mean, if you wanted to have one special meal a week or one out of the, off the map kind of meal or something like that, I mean, you could do whatever you want. It's your family. But if you just had this as your basic day in, day out kind of thing, it simplifies things so much. And there was a doctor, I don't remember her name, but she had traveled to all of the blue zones, and she did an interview with Dr. Berry. It's probably been about a year ago now. She was a woman doctor, and I can try to find it and link it for you. But she said during that interview that one of the commonalities that she found in traveling to all of these different quote unquote blue zones was that these people ate as simple as humanly possible, meaning they were just eating like just your basic, like if you can get down to 1 or 2 staple things that you're eating, the more simple you can eat, the less diverse your diet can be, the better off you will be health-wise. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean like go on a banana-only diet and eat bananas. Like it has to be a protein, nutrient dense, heavy fat-based diet. But she was just saying, if you can simplify it down to just the less is better, is what she was saying. And I was just like, wow, I mean, it's the opposite of what we're told, right? Yeah. We're told, eat the rainbow.
Eat a wide variety, and you need all this diversity and all this stuff. And it's just, you do not. It can be very simple, easy. People do still ask, what do you do with the fruit trees? Well, the fruits are in season right now, and we're eating them, and they're spectacular, and they're a great treat. They're not obviously the bulk of our diet, but when you completely eradicate processed sugars out of your diet, and then you are holistically raising fruit in an organic type of manner with no type of pesticides or anything, the taste is so out of this world, and so satisfying that when the fruit's in season, we eat it. It is an incredible special treat.
And it's limited.
Yeah, and it's so limited to what's there. And what you do is, we're not trying to pick it and store it, and so we have to kill it with sugar. We wait till it's absolutely perfectly ripe, and we pick it and eat it. So you're picking and eating fruit at its optimal point. And if you miss it, and it goes to the animals, or maybe it falls to the pigs or to the birds or whatever, that's great too. We're developing our surrounding all the support species and everything, and we have plenty to share. And it's the way that it was designed to be, and we feel great, and we have more time, and we have more money, and we feel better, and we have less sickness and less illness. Like, what do you want us to tell you?
Yeah.
I mean, it is...
it's been amazing.
It's the optimal way to live.
Way less illness. Almost obsolete, I'm going to say. No sickness at all has happened in this house, which has been amazing. And, not that, sickness will come, obviously.
Sure.
We're still human beings, but so much less compared to before. And, like I said, my grocery, they're all optional things. These aren't things that we're going to die if we don't buy. Our freezers are full of meat. We are fine. We are good, but, like, it's nice to have butter. It's nice to have some heavy cream. It's nice. Some of my people like a little half and half in their coffee. But it's so small and it's so limited. I mean, on most weeks, it's like maybe $100 a week is what we're spending on groceries. It's so minimal. And if we want to have something special, if they want to have some cheese once or twice a week on their burgers, we pick up some cheese. Or if they want to make those little cheese crisps on a tray, we pick up some of that. I don't tolerate very much dairy, so it's not me, but a lot of the other ones in the house can have it. And I think the other misnomer about a family, like a lot of the maybe hesitation might be in going keto or going carnivore is, oh my, how will we ever be able to afford that, you know, because meat's so expensive.
It's just not.
But what you're also, you're missing is that, yeah, in the beginning you might, in the beginning, you're going to eat when you're hungry, and you're going to eat until you're comfortably full, right? And your children are going to do the same. But as the weeks and the months go on, you are going to find that you're going to be more simplified. You're going to be more satiated with less food, and you're going to eat so much less. I mean, even right from the get-go, you're going to eat so much less.
You're going to stop browsing and grazing, and you're going to stop comfort eating. You're going to stop all those things where all of the comfort that we get from food, you're taking the food from being an emotional, psychological thing to just being a factual fuel that you're eating to heal, and you eat and you're done.
Right.
And it's so efficient, and you have so much more time, and you don't have to mucks around like jacking around with food and preparing stuff and waiting and running out and, oh, I got to get more ingredients for this complicated thing, and I need more powders and more processed things to make this thing. And it's just awesome. So ask all your questions down below. Tell us what you think. Give us your tricks, your feedback. But this is 400 days carnivore. 409 days, and we're feeling great. We're doing great. We want to encourage others to give it a try. If you have chronic disease, if you have arthritis, if you have heart disease or diabetes or whatever, y'all, give it a try. You will be incredibly thankful. We're cheering you on. Y'all know who you are out there. We have many great friends that are giving this a whirl, and the beauty of it is it works. And I don't know anybody that has tried it and it hasn't worked. And so
it simplifies your life. It simplifies your meal prep. It just simplifies everything. My little kids can cook all of their foods for themselves, and my husband, my older boys, they usually eat once a day. My little ones maybe eat twice a day. I eat once to sometimes twice a day, depending on the day, mainly once a day. And so it frees up the rest of your life to go and enjoy the things that you want to enjoy. And then if you want to make a special meal once a week, like I said, like a carnivore or keto special meal, I mean, go crazy. And then it's actually enjoyable to do something like that special too, because you're not cooking all the time every day. And even if you have no health problems, zero health problems, but you just want simplicity in your life, and you just want just to live a more simple life and free up your time, you should try this.
If you think you have no health problems and you try this, what you're going to find out is you have health problems, and then you're going to feel better, and you're going to be like, I didn't know I had brain fog.
Yeah.
You're going to feel better.
Yeah.
So.
Or if you live on a farm, you're homesteading, you're trying to do all the 99 things, try this. It will simplify your homestead. And
you'll feel better.
You will. You'll absolutely feel better. You're going to feel less stress. If you're a prepper and you've been trying to prep all the 99 things in your pantry, try this, and you're going to realize, wow, I could prep 2 things and we could be ready, and it can be more efficient, and we could eat less and thrive more. And it's it's just such an answer.
And if you are doing this, share this video with somebody you love. Maybe it'll help them. Leave your comments down below. We love and appreciate y'all. And go check out TheTexasBoys.com. For any of y'all that are looking for local beef, I think we're sold out for this month. So send us an email. Get on our email list. Also, we have our local meetup coming the first Saturday in July. In August. I think it's August 3rd. And that's going to be at Bob Wells at Sorello's Farm in Mineola. And we love our local meetups, and we'd love to meet y'all if you're in the Northeast Texas area. August 3rd, 10 to 12. I think we're doing kind of like a potluck. So come on out. We'd love to meet you. And we'll see y'all in the next video.